Welcome, children. Welcome to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. So, moving to the next lesson, fractions and decimals of your class 7. First of all, we will go to definitions. Children, in your older previous classes, you might have seen and you might have already discussed about the fractions. It is a real life examples and it include in almost our daily life. Fractions are the representation of a parts of a whole. They are composed of the numerator and of denominator. And one more thing we have seen, that is of decimals. A decimal is a number that includes a decimal point and digits to the right of the decimal point. Percentages. We all have our school grades, percentages. As the name itself suggests, percent, for every 100, per 100, or a parts per 100. Now we'll see fractions through the example. A fraction is a number that describes a relationship between a part represented by the numerator and a whole that is represented by a denominator. Suppose, for example, I want to say upon 3 parts out of 5. 3 parts out of 5. So I am going to write like 3 by 5. 3 is a number of parts that we'll write in a numerator, and 5 that are the total parts in a whole that we used to write in a denominator. For example, I want to say that in a one class total children are 30 and out of that 18 are boys. So how can we write 18 upon 30? That 18 parts are boys out of 30. That is also example of fraction. This is a daily life example of fraction. So here you can see 5 parts are there, 3 parts are shaded, and that are the 3 parts out of 5. So if you want to remember it easily, you can remember part of a whole is simply called a fraction. Part of a whole is simply called a fraction. A number that expresses parts of a whole object or a set of objects. In a simple way, you can write part divided by whole. Like for example, half. I am going to write 1 upon 2. What is 1 here? 1 is a numerator, 1 part out of 2 parts. Like money is going to divide between the two friends. They are going to take half part. So here again the fraction is included. So numerator is what? How many fractions pieces you have, and that denominator is how many fraction pieces you are going to divide the whole. The whole is broken. You can remember, for example, part of a group, like you can say 1 upon 4, 1/4 part. If you want to say upon number line, you can say 1 upon 4. In a fraction bar, you can write 1 upon 4. In a circle also, you can say 1/4 part. You can represent fractions in a different way graphically through diagrams also. Now moving to the types of fraction. These are so basic. In the class 4th also you might have seen this example. Proper fraction. Proper fractions. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. That such a fraction is called as proper fraction. Like I want to say upon 3 parts out of 8. 3 upon 8. 7 upon 9. Here the numerators are smaller than the denominator. Whole is greater here than the part. Reverse of it is a improper fraction. The second one, that is improper fraction. Here the numerator is larger than the denominator. 7 upon 5, 9 upon 2. These improper fraction we used to write in terms of mixed fraction. Might you have remember. Equivalent fractions are those which are written in different numerator and denominator pair, but the result is the same. Like 2 upon 3. This only fraction you can write as 8 upon 12. When you simplify 8 upon 12, you can again get 2 upon 3. Next is mixed fraction. When a fraction is composed of a whole number and a fraction, like 3 parts are whole and 2 upon 3. Like fractions having the same denominator, like here example 3 upon 5, 2 upon 5, denominator 5 is same in both the cases. Moving to the next, unit fraction. As the name itself suggests, unit means 1, so numerator is going to be get 1 and the denominator can be different. And we know that all the integers can be written in the form of fractions. All the integers can be written in the form of fractions. Like, is there nothing is in the denominator, by default there is 1, so I can write 2 upon 1, 3 upon 1, like this. Complex fractions are the fractions in which the numerator or the denominator or both numerator and denominators are again the fractions, like 3 upon 5 upon 7 upon 8, means numerator is also fraction here and denominator is also fraction. These are complex one. And at last we are having reciprocal, the fraction that result from dividing one number by that number, like 4 upon 1. The reciprocal, we are going to flip this fraction, will get 1 upon 4. 4 by 1 we are going to flip it, will get 1 upon 4, means numerator change to denominator, denominator